Welcome to our island cottage hideaway on the island of Samui. We decided to come out here for a couple of weeks for two reasons. One, the island is supposedly very beautiful, so we wanted to check it out. But number two, and probably the most important thing, is that we needed to get some personal logistical work done. As full-time travelers, we have to plan months in advance. We're always moving month to month to month, or even sooner than that. And we've got to do a little bit of work on our travel itinerary. Glad to say we've got all of that done now. We have a little bit of time to check out the island. And in this video, we're going to share with you the things we liked and some of the things we disliked about Koh Samui. Now, quick disclaimer here. Obviously, our experience is going to be different than yours, so make sure to do your research so you can make an informed decision about your own travel plans.
So we're really happy with the accommodation we found here in Koh Samui. It's a cute little bungalow, very modern, very clean, and we have our own little pond right here, and we've really been enjoying it. It's near the main road, but it's very, very quiet. We've been able to get a lot of stuff done and do a little bit of relaxing, and the neighborhood cats are here too to greet us every morning.
So this morning we're headed over early to Wat Phra Yai, also known as Big Buddha Temple. And during our walk over there, it's supposed to take about an hour. We're going to talk about the things that we really liked about Samui. The first thing on our list is Fisherman's Village, which is just a few minutes away from where we're staying. And Boh Phut Beach, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Really, really beautiful beach. So let's head over there now. So we're here at Fisherman's Village, and this is a really great place to stay if you just sort of want to hang out on the beach. Right over here is Boh Phut Beach, which is just a phenomenally beautiful place. There's a whole bunch of international options here for cuisine. Now, the prices are beachside prices, so we haven't really come here very frequently because we are budget travelers, but it's a great place to hang out. It definitely has a very crowded sort of touristy vibe in the evening, and right down the street there's a really large night market as well. We're going to head over to Boh Phut Beach a little bit later, grab a beer and just chill and relax. So right now we're traveling between two little beach village areas on one of the roads, and as you can see, the island isn't quite designed for walking between villages. There isn't really a way to easily get from one area to another, and there's quite a bit of traffic as well. So we've crossed over to the other side of the road just so we can see traffic a little bit better. These shoulders aren't very large, so just feel a little bit safer walking towards oncoming traffic. Okay, so after about an hour of walking in the fairly hot sun, although it's going to get a lot hotter because it's still fairly early in the morning, we have arrived at Big Buddha Temple, and check out the views behind us. Wow, they are amazing. We can see the temple in the distance, and we're heading over now. So I think technically this is a small little island that's not part of Samui, but it's been artificially connected to Samui. That was quite a walk to get over here, but I'm glad we came out. It's kind of a neat temple, and the views were spectacular, over the top spectacular. So another thing we really like about Samui is the beaches and the water. It's just so beautiful, as you can see on our walk over here. Amazing sort of scenery and landscape views. The water's just beautiful, and it's super warm and comfortable to get into. We did a little bit of walking along the beach earlier this week, and very, very nice, very, very comfortable.
And of course, we found the Thai food just as delicious as always, and the kindness of the Thai people here on Samui has been great. So the temple was really nice, really just calming, views were beautiful. But now it's time to head back, and I think we're gonna get a grab versus walking back an hour in the sun, which I heartily approve of.
So we've come today to our favorite restaurant in Samui. It's called Kong Nun. They serve northern Thai cuisine, among other things, and we've been really impressed by the food here. They have some really great khao soi. Today we got a couple of things that we haven't had before. I've got a northern Thai dish called Nam Jiao. It's a beautiful dish. Like, I had to get it just because it looks so beautiful, this really deep kind of crimson red color. And Stephanie got noodles. I don't know what she got other than noodles. So we're gonna dig in and try this because it looks amazing, and they haven't steered us wrong so far. That's very good. Good spice. Definitely spicier than Stephanie likes, but very good. Salty. I don't know how to describe it. There's some tomatoes in here. Almost tastes like there's a tomato base, but I think I'm really gonna like this. Very different from the other Thai foods I've had, which is great because we're starting to experience some foods that we just haven't had in the past.
Okay. That's really, really nice. Chris was right. There's some different flavors than what we've had before here in Thailand. I always love noodles. Chicken is super tender, really, really tasty. I can't even necessarily describe it other than it's just super umami, yummy. So you should come here.
So that totally hit the spot. My lips are like numb, but really delicious. Love this place. So we're back at the beach. We decided to come down to one of the little beach bars here that backs up right against the beach and treat ourselves to a drink. We haven't done that since we've come here, and we thought it would be a nice way to kind of round out our time in Samui. So right behind us is Fisherman's Village. It starts to get pretty busy later in the evening, and just a little bit further that way is this really big night market. They're selling lots of kind of handmade items as well as lots of food. We've been down there a couple times. Pretty good. Definitely catering to tourists and kind of Western tourists, but still a good place. We've had some things we really like there, and they have a few things there that we haven't really seen in many of the night markets we've been to. Again, a little bit more Western style, but still you can get some good Thai food for, I would say, a reasonable price.
We've enjoyed our time here on the island, so cheers to Samui.
So here we are, another beautiful day in Samui. We came out to the beach to talk about our second topic, which is unfortunately the things that we didn't find as appealing, and Stephanie is going to kick it off. Before we get started though, I want to answer a question. My brother was actually asking me what was on my arms, what was I wearing on my arms, and these are, we actually mentioned in another video, these are sun protection little gloves that we picked up at Uniqlo. Now, Uniqlo doesn't sponsor us, but these have been quite useful on our trip, especially in sunny weather. He was actually curious if they were for mosquitoes, and to be honest, I don't know if they work well for mosquitoes, but the reality is they probably do. I haven't had any bites on my arms yet, but typically I seem to get those when I'm indoors anyway, so. All right, over to Stephanie.
Unfortunately, there are a handful of things that weren't great for us here on Samui. The first one being the lack of public transportation. Now, we chose not to rent scooters or motorbikes or cars, and the reason being is if you've ever seen a tourist on a moped, it's kind of frightening. Locals, we have zero problem with how they drive, but most of the accidents here on the islands are because of tourists, so we chose not to go that route. That and Grabs are very expensive. We went to a great mall. It cost us about $10 US each way. So that was a little prohibitive being on a budget. So just keep that in mind when you're thinking about coming to the islands, especially Koh Samui.
So we're walking by this resort and I see what appears to be a first aid station with bottled water. And I'm like, that's weird. Why do they have bottled water? So we take a closer look and there's this sign, beware of jellyfish. So I did a little research and it turns out that this area, and especially this beach that we're at, is notorious for the box jellyfish. This area and the island behind me, which I don't remember the name of it, notorious for the box jellyfish. Now, from what I read, the box jellyfish is one of the most venomous animals in the world, which obviously scared me a little bit. However, the sign says that it's rare to see them. I read different, but hey, the sign says it's rare. The bottled water is actually vinegar, and what you're supposed to do if you're stung is pour vinegar on the wound for 30 seconds. So walking up to this first aid station, I learned a ton about jellyfish and vinegar. Oh, one more thing to note, another fun fact is jellyfish apparently are very fast swimmers. They swim from between 1.5 to 2 meters per second, which is astounding. Back to Stephanie for our challenges here on the island.
Another thing we noticed too is there seems to be a large number of pod shops. So if you, at least for the next few months, if that's your thing and that's what you like to do on vacation, maybe this area is good for you. I think the Thai government is going to start outlawing recreational marijuana use, just because I don't think it's going the way they thought it might. So if that's your thing, great, have at it. It's not ours, so it's been a little interesting. Not so much the number of shops, but just the number of people that are actually out on the street smoking. And that's been a little disturbing sometimes, but you know, you just walk away and hope for a breeze. So the last thing that gave us a little trouble here on Samui was the heavy traffic. Now, as I said, we didn't rent a scooter or car or anything, but crossing the street was just about impossible. Now, we've crossed some busy streets in Vietnam, other places in Thailand, and we were all right. But this is something else. This is a different level. It also can take a little longer than you would think to get from point A to point B, wherever you're going on the island, just because of the traffic. But like anywhere, rush hour in the morning and then 4:30 to 5 is busier here.
So that brings us to our final point. Who is Samui good for? Well, if you're looking for a beachy vibe, vacation where you just sort of chill on the beach, maybe do some activities where there's planned transportation, this is a perfect destination. You can see behind me, there are plenty of people sitting out on the beach, just relaxing and enjoying themselves. We just spoke to somebody from the Netherlands. He's loving the vacation here. He actually just went out on a jet ski, and there's so many water activities. So if you like scuba diving or other types of water activities, including boating, there's so much to do here. We really enjoyed our time, and we don't want the challenges necessarily to detract from what we did enjoy, but we thought we should be kind of open and honest about our time here.
A big thanks to all of our new subscribers and everyone who's been kind enough to leave comments on our recent videos. We hope you enjoyed our time here on Koh Samui. We certainly did. And if you really liked it, please give us a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and we will see you in the next one.